Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are so fortunate to have his guest Sarvadrik Prabhuji from Mayapur, and today Prabhuji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 8, Verse 7 onwards. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Whenever you are ready,
Hare,
please take up the call.
okay, Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nashtapreshu Badeshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishna Swadamo Bhagate Dharma Gyana Saha Kalo Nashtadasham Esha Puranako Dunodita Kantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. It is our good fortune to be reading Srimad Bhagavatam today, Canto 7, Chapter 8, Text 7. Shri Prarada Uvacha Nakevalam me bhavatascha rajan Savai balam balinam cha paresham Vare vare me stirajangamaye Brahmadeyo yena vasham pranita. Shri Prarada Uvacha. Prahlad Maharaj replied, not Kevalam, only, me, of me, Bhavataha, of yourself, Cha, and Rajan, O great king, Saha, he, by, indeed, Balam, strength, Balinam, of the strong, Cha, and Aparesham, of others, Pare, exalted, Abare, subordinate, Ami, those, Stirajangamaha, moving or non-moving living entities. Ye, who, Brahma Adaya, beginning from Lord Brahma, Yena, by whom, Vasam, under control, Pranitaha, brought. Translation. Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear king, the source of my strength, of which you are asking, is also the source of yours. Indeed, the original source of all kinds of strength is one. He is not only your strength or mine, but the only strength for everyone. Without him, no one can get any strength. Whether moving or non-moving, superior or inferior, everyone, including Lord Brahma, is controlled by the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 41, Yadyad vimuti matsattam shrimad urjitam evava tat tad eva bhagachatvam mamotejam sambhavam. Know that all beautiful, glorious, and mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. This is confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj. If one sees extraordinary strength or power anywhere, it is derived from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To give an example, there are different grades of fire, but all of them derive heat and light from the sun. Similarly, all living entities, big or small, are dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One's only duty, therefore, is to surrender, for one is a servant and cannot independently attain the position of master. One can attain the position of master only by the mercy of the master, not independently. Unless one understands this philosophy, he is still a mudha. In other words, he is not very intelligent. The mudhas, the asses, do not have this intelligence. Who do not have this intelligence cannot surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Understanding the subordinate position of the living entity takes millions of births, but when one is actually wise, he surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 19, Bahunam janmanamante jnanavam mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlava. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Prahlad Maharaj was a great soul, a Mahatma, and therefore he completely surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord. He was confident that Krishna would give him protection under all circumstances. Mama Jnana Timirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militanjena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nam Nivishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Guru Jnanada Dinabandho Swananda Data Gurunaika Sindho Vrindavanasina Hitavatara Prasida Radha Pranaya Prachara Namashishtamanumaphi Sachiputramatra Sarupam Rupam Tasyagajamurapurim Matarim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaram Maho Radhika Madhavasam Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natasmi Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghujago Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Nantadvita Shayam Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhum Nichopi Yat Prasada Sadbhakti Shastra Pavartaka Nityananda Maham Naomi Sarvananda Karam Param Harinama Padam Devam Avaduta Sharomaram Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannataya Te Namaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindayi Tulsi Devi Priyaye Keshava Sacha Krishna Bhakti Padi Devi Satyavate Namo Namah Vancha Kopatubhishcha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So this is very interesting verse. That imagine the scene when we read Srimad Bhagvatam, we shouldn't just read the words, but we should bring our mind to the scene, to what is happening. And imagine, here is a diminutive little boy, 5 years old, and his father is challenging him. He's very, very angry, ready to kill him. And he's challenging him, where do you get your strength? How he's completely frustrated. He can't kill him. He tried throwing him off a cliff, putting him in a pit with poisonous snakes, being attacked by demons. Chindi, bindi, kill him, pierce him, throw him in a pot of boiling oil. Attacked by elephants. At every step of the way, he was completely dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And his father is completely frustrated. I can't kill this boy. I've tried every way I can imagine, but I can't kill this boy. Where do you get your power? This is Prahlad Maharaj's reply. That I get my power the same place you get yours, from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we can ask, why was Prahlad Maharaj so successful? Why was he able to contradict death, to stare death in the face, completely fearless, because he's completely dependent. He's completely surrendered under the personality of Godhead. And this is the last sentence Prabhupada writes here. He was confident that Krishna would give him protection under all circumstances. So if we want Krishna's protection, we should also practice surrender. And that's explained, Prabhupada quoted many times, this verse from Hari Bhakti Vilas, Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyatiti vishvaso guptrukte varanam tata. Atmakikshepakarpanye sadvidha sharanagati. What is sharanagati? What does it entail? There's 6 things. So let us examine these 6 items of surrender. Because if we want protection from the Lord, we have to surrender. We have to agree to be protected. This is the problem in material life. People think they're independent from the protection of the Lord, that I'm great, I am powerful, who needs God? I can protect myself. I've got a gun, I've got a lock on my door, I've got a security system that no one can enter my home. I am protected. But this was Hiranyakashipu's whole. He's thinking, I'm protected. Who needs God? I'm not going to die at night. I'm not going to die during the day. I'm not going to die by any weapon, by any animal, man or beast or demigod. I'm not going to die inside or outside. He thought, I've got all my bases covered. I am protected. But what happened to him? The point is, there is no other protection other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's a myth. It's a fairy tale. It's illusion to think there's any other protection but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So to be protected, to take advantage of that protection, we have to surrender. We have to acknowledge I am helpless. I'm fallible. I make many mistakes. I can't protect myself. Don't be like Hiranyakashipu, thinking he had all his bases covered, and beyond his conception, beyond his power to understand, he was killed. So that happens to the demons also, because nobody gets out alive. Everybody dies. That's a given in this material world. Nobody gets out alive. So what is ultimate protection? Ultimate protection is to leave the material world. Yadgatvana nivartante tad dhamma paramamama, to go back to the kingdom of God and never come back to this material world. This is the only real protection, because our body is fallible. Our body is temporary. It's subject to to disease, to accidents, to natural calamities, envious living beings. I mean, our own body is falling apart. The time factor destroys our whole body. So where is their protection? There is no protection for this body ultimately, because the body is temporary. It will fall apart, guaranteed. So only real protection means to take shelter of Krishna and go back to Godhead. So there's 6 items of protection. First thing, anukulyasya. Anukulyasya means to accept anything that is helpful in our devotional service. Accept anything in devotional service. Sometimes people criticize devotees. They would criticize even Srila Prabhupada. Like, if you guys are so spiritual, why are you flying on airplanes? Why you drive a car? One time, the devotees came to pick up Srila Prabhupada in a Rolls Royce, and the news media had a heyday with that one. Like, who is this? Who is this man? What kind of spiritual person does he think he is, riding in a Rolls Royce? So when they interviewed Prabhupada, the news media came, some TV camera, news reporter, magazine reporter, newspaper reporter. They came and interviewed Prabhupada, and they challenged him. I see you're riding in a Rolls Royce. And what Prabhupada would say? Even Rolls Royce is not sufficient for the representative of God. It's right in their face, challenging them. This is insufficient. Why? Because everything can be used in Krishna service. We don't reject anything. We accept anything that can be used in Krishna service. Not like these so-called renunciates. You try and give them money. Say, oh, no, I don't take money. I don't take money. So how you living? How you living in a big building? How you eating? How you wearing clothes? How you maintaining yourself? Even I met one, he's a very saintly person actually, but he doesn't take money. But his servant takes, because they have an ashram to maintain. They do very nice Vaishnav seva. So I gave some donation, but personally he will not take. But devotee will think, no, give me more. Prabhupada tells a story of a sadhu going door to door doing, begging bhiksha. Bhiksha dehi, give me some donation. So a generous landowner, Grihastha, gave him nice donation. He thanked him very much. And a few days later, he came back knocking on the same door. Bhiksha dehi, you please give me some donation. I just gave you donation. What did you do with it? I already spent everything for Krishna. And this is our mentality. We're not afraid of money because we know what to do with it. How are we building buildings? How are we distributing books, distributing prasadam, traveling all over the world, preaching Krishna consciousness? With money. Nothing wrong with money. We're happy. We want money, not out of greed, for personal aggrandizement, personal sense gratification, for pride and ego, to wear a Rolex watch and expensive clothes, and not like this. But everything for Krishna. Anukulyas, to accept anything that is helpful to devotional service. So we fly in airplanes. We use the latest technology to print books. I'm speaking to you through amazing technology, thousands of miles away. But what are we broadcasting? We're broadcasting some useless movie, the news. What are we broadcasting? We're broadcasting Hari Katha, Krishna consciousness, trying much chitan bhagata prana bodhiyanta parasparam katayantaschamam nityam tushanti cha ramanti cha. The thoughts of my devotees dwell in me. Their lives are similar to me, and they derive great satisfaction and happiness conversing about one another and enlightening one another. This is Bhagavad Gita. We're broadcasting Bhagavad Gita all over the world. This is unprecedented in the history of Vaishnavism, that such mass broadcasting of Hari Katha has happened. How? Because we're taking advantage of material assets, of technology. We don't reject technology. We use technology. We use everything. Anukulyasya. We use everything in the service of the Lord. Anything that's favorable for the transcendental service of the Lord. This is also described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Anasaktasya vishayan yadarham upayunjata nirbandha Krishna sambandha yuktam vairagyam uchate. This is described as by Srila Rupa Goswami as yukta vairagyam. A devotee flying in an airplane with a computer, driving in a car, going out to preach Krishna consciousness is fully renounced because everything is for Krishna's interest. That is renunciation. The second half of this verse is Prapangshikataya Bhujya Hari Sambandhu Vastana Mumukshivi Paratyago Falgu Vairagyam Katyate. Falgu Vairagyam means, oh, I don't fly in an airplane. I'm a sannyasi. I don't wear shoes. I dress in very simple cloth. I don't have a computer. I don't have a watch. I don't have a car. I'm renounced. Shastra said this is falgu vairagyam, false renunciation. What is yours to renounce? Everything belongs to Krishna. If I walk into a bank and say, hands up, everybody, give me your watch, give me your wallet, give me the money in the bank and the cash drawer, it's all mine, give it to me, then you're a thief. You're a criminal and you go to jail. If you walk into the same bank and you say, everybody here, you can keep your money. You can keep the money in the cash drawer, in the vault, in your pocket, keep your wedding ring, keep your watch. You can have it all. I give it to you. He's a fool. He's a madman because he doesn't own it. So either mad or criminal. Either you take everything that doesn't belong to you for your sense gratification, or you falsely renounce. Falgu vairagya. But you can walk into the bank, you can make a deposit, you can make a withdrawal, you can chat with the teller, you can meet the bank manager, you can have a relationship with the bank. And this is bhakti. Have a relationship with Krishna. Use what is Krishna's for Krishna's interest. This is actual renunciation. This is anukulyasya. Sankalpa, to take this vow to use everything in the service of the Lord. And if you can't use it, pratikulyasya varjanam. We reject anything that hinders our devotional service, that has no connection with Krishna. What use do we have for it? If it's not connected to Krishna, it's useless. Or if it hinders our devotional service, then we reject that also. Anything unfavorable, we reject. This is actual renunciation. It's mentioned here, varjanam, complete rejection of anything that may be satisfying to our own lifestyle, satisfying to our own senses. But if it has no connection with Krishna, what is the use? It's useless. So we reject. Pratikulyasya varjanam. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach this. This is one of the reasons he came to this. This is a whole other discussion, of course. But this is one of the reasons he came. It's stated, I think Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya made this prayer. Vairagya vidya nija bhakti yoga sikshartameka purusha purana Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sharira Dhari Kripam Bhujayastamaham Prabhaji. That I surrender to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of God, who came to teach Vairagya and Vidya. Vairagya means detachment, renunciation, abnegation of the self. I don't want anything for my own personal interest. I only want to serve Krishna. Vairagya and Vidya. Vidya means knowledge. And if we are knowledgeable, if we're actually fixed in knowledge, not university degree, MBBA, MTech, BTech, PhD, how will that help you at the time of death? You're going to show it to Yamaraj? Hey, Yamaraj, check this out. I'm MBB, I'm a doctor, I have PhD. So sorry, let's go. Will it help you? We don't reject that, but it's not a spiritual asset. It's not a spiritual asset. So Lord Chaitanya came to teach this principle, Vairagya and Vidya. Knowledge, who I am, what is this world, what is the highest objective of life, and how do I get there? That is knowledge, not how to program a computer or do technical mathematical calculations or geography, biology, chemistry, sociology, all the ologies. Will they help you at the time of death? This knowledge will help us at the time of death. Who am I? Who is Krishna? What is my relationship with him? Do I have any feeling for God? Am I ready to go back to him and live there eternally? That is knowledge. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach this. Vairagya Vidya, complete rejection of anything that doesn't foster spiritual life. So this is pratikulyasya, giving up anything that has no relationship with Krishna, that hinders our devotional service. Rakshishyati vishvaso. Rakshishyati means that he will protect us. So this is Prahlad Maharaj. He's fearlessly saying to his demoniac father that has tried to kill him over and over again, and he's fearlessly taking shelter of the Lord in every circumstance, and the Lord is protecting him in every circumstance. Now, someone may ask, why was it that Prahlad Maharaj had to go through so many trials? Where was Krishna the first time his life was threatened? He went through all these different challenges with the oil, the cliff, the spears, the poisonous snakes, the elephant. He went through all these challenges one after. Where was Krishna the first time? The answer is that Krishna came finally to protect Prahlad, to kill the demon. Paratranaya sadhanam vinashaya chadushkritam. Krishna came to kill this demon, Hiranyakashipu, to protect Prahlad, but he tested him. And life, in devotional life, there are many tests. Don't think that you'll never be tested, because you will. Many tests will come where you will have to choose to be protected by the Lord or to try and protect yourself, like Draupadi. Draupadi's powerful lady, no doubt. But in the assembly of the Kurus, when Dushasana is trying to disrobe her, what is her power to protect herself from this powerful Maharati? She has no power, no physical power. But she surrendered to Krishna. She didn't try to hold on to her cloth, trying to protect her chastity. She lifted her arms, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal. And because she surrendered, Krishna was there. Because she acknowledged that Krishna is my only protector, that no one can protect me in this circumstance but Krishna. Krishna was there for her. And Prahlad Maharaj also, showing perfect example. When death comes knocking on his door, when there's huge challenge in his life, what did he do? Did he look for a gun? Did he hire a bodyguard? Did he hire a bodyguard? No. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He's simply chanting Lord's name, fixed in consciousness, fixed in Krishna as his only protector, Rikshashiti. And Vishvasa. Vishvasa means he's firmly convinced that Krishna will protect me. And this is required in spiritual life. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter Bhagavad Gita, text 3, Ashwadadhana Purusha Dharma Shasya Parantapa, Aprapyamam Nivartante Mrityu Sansara Vartmani. A faithless person cannot achieve me. Rather, he's cast into repeated birth and death. We can choose Krishna and be protected by Krishna, or we can choose the protection of material energy. But the protection of material energy is not real protection. It may give some temporary protection, and we're not foolish. It's not like we tempt fate that you walk in a dangerous part of town, at night, and you're carrying your bank account and cash, and we don't tempt fate. We're not act foolishly. We take whatever precautions are practical, but we understand that our real protector, our only real protector, is Krishna, the mercy of the Lord. So that is faith. Shraddha. But Krishna is saying, Ashraddhana. If you have no faith, you can't achieve me. Rather, you return to birth and death in the material world. But either way, we're subordinate. We're subordinate to the laws of material nature, or we're subordinate to Krishna. So where will we find that protection? This is the characteristic of a great soul. Prabhupada wrote, he was confident that Krishna would give him protection under all circumstances. And this is the definition of a Mahatma, isn't it? Mahatma nastupam mam parta daivim prakritim ashrita. Ashritam bhajante nanda manaso gyata bhutadim avyayam. He's completely engaged in Krishna's service, and he knows that in every circumstance, Krishna will protect me because I've taken shelter of Daivi Prakriti, spiritual energy. The verse prior to that explains what is the consciousness of the non-devotee. Moga sha, moga karmano, moga jnana vichetasa, rakshasi mastaram chaiva, prakriti mohinim shataha. That all their hopes for liberation are finished. Their hope for mogasha, hope for success and fruitive activities, mogasha, marga karmano, moga jnana, their hopes for liberation, for knowledge. Their whole life is a waste. It's a failure. Examine materialistic societies. Examine the country you're all living in, America. President Trump, many years ago when he was in office, described the drug situation in America as a national emergency. 300,000 people die on the highways of America every year due to alcohol-related auto accidents. More than 100,000 people die every year from overdose, suicide, divorce, depression. Are these all the alcoholism, drug abuse, drug addiction? Are these the symptoms of a progressive culture, of an aristocratic, progressive, happy culture? These are symptoms of a failed culture. Why? Moga Sha, Moga Karma. Because they don't take shelter of Krishna. Devotee, diving Prakriti Mashrita. So this is our teaching. We're trying to introduce this principle. Take shelter of the Lord, because there is no other shelter. There's no shelter in a bottle. There's no shelter in a drug. There's no shelter in material relationships. There's no shelter in money. I mean, we found that many people got that hard lesson here in Bharat when there was this demonetization. Sudevi and I were in Vrindavan at that time. And all the kaprawalas, the clothwalas in Loy Bazaar were crying because they have trunks full of black money. They can't put it in the bank and they can't spend it. They were donating trunks of money to different temples. They're throwing it in Jamuna because it's only paper. But they thought there's shelter in money. This is my shelter. This is my prosperity. This is my hope for the future. This is my sense gratification. And the rug was pulled out from under them. No, it's not. It's only paper. So where will we put our faith? Will we put our faith in paper? Will we put our faith in a firearm? Will we put our faith in a security system? Will we put our faith in the police? The only place we find shelter is with Krishna. And we get that by Daivim Prakritim. And this is the exact opposite of the materialistic consciousness. Moga Sha Moga Karma. Where they're Moga means they're bewildered, they're baffled in all their activities because they reject the shelter of Krishna. So to get that shelter, we have to admit our dependence. I need your shelter. I'm hopeless, I'm helpless without your shelter. There's a nice example given in Bhagvatam. Balasya neha sharanam pitaro nishinga. Nartasya chaganamudanvati majjatono. Taptasya tat patividhir yahihanjasheshas. Tavid vibho tanubatam todupekshitanam. This is Prahlad Maharaj's prayer in a couple of chapters. We'll read that eventually. He gave a nice example. He said that a boat on the water is not a guarantee for of safety for a drowning man. The boat may be in the water, but the man may drown. Medical treatment is not guarantee of being saved from death by medical treatment, by the best doctor, the best hospital. We should take note of this principle. People spend money for building big, big hospitals. Okay, that's nice. And from one point of view, that's nice. Because all of us, in due course of time, will require the facility of hospital treatment. This is what our body is fallible. It gets sick, it wears out. We will require a hospital. But can a hospital stop death? It cannot. Even the most modern hospital, with the most highly educated expert doctors and most up-to-date equipment, you cannot stop death. So Prahlad Maharaj gives this example. A boat cannot protect a drowning man. A doctor cannot protect a patient. Parents cannot protect their children. Anyone who's not cared for by you, O Lord Nishingadev, is in a hopeless situation. And they accept the cure for their problem is sometimes a greater cause of distress than the problem itself. So these things are all mentioned in Srimad Bhagvatam. What is our shelter? Only Lord Nishingadev, only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So fourth item is Goptrite. Goptrite means accepting Krishna as our guardian, like a father, a husband, a maintainer, like an animal, like someone keeps a dog or a cat or a cow. They're completely dependent. If you don't feed me, I'll die. So devotee has this attitude that I am completely dependent on Krishna, that we accept Krishna as our supreme maintainer, that without his mercy, how are we eating? I mean, the simplest thing, this is one of the reasons we do fasting, a periodic fasting on Ekadashi, Janmashtami, Ram Navami, Krishna, Nishinga Chaturdasi. By doing this fasting, it causes us to reflect. It should cause us to reflect how much food I eat every day. Imagine putting all that food in a room that you eat in 1 month. You'd fill the whole room. Where is it coming from? It's coming to us by the grace of God. He's maintaining us. We're like his like his pets. And he happily does that. Konteya pratijanihi nami bhakta pranashati. Krishna says, declare it boldly, my devotee never perishes. Because Krishna has very loving relation. Go brahmana hitayacha. He has very loving feeling towards the cows and devotees, the brahmins, the Vaishnavas. So we're maintained that we should again acknowledge that. Not thinking that I'm working hard, I have a paycheck, I'm going to cash my paycheck, or I'm going to get my plastic credit card, and I'm going shopping. And I'm going to buy nice boga, nice food, I'm going to eat and enjoy life. Where is it coming from? We should remember this. We should remember when we're taking prasadam, how is this food coming to my mouth? How is rice coming to my mouth? Only by the grace of the sun, of the moon, of water, of the earth. This food that maintains my body has come to my mouth by the grace of God, by the grace of His creation. We're maintained. Eko bahunam jo vidadati kaman. Shastra says, Nityo nityanam chaitanas chaitananam. Eko bahunam jo vidadati kaman. Out of all eternal beings, there is one supreme eternal being. Of all nityas, there's one supreme nitya. Of all eternal beings, there's one supreme eternal. This is Krishna, Eka. The Eko Bahunam, that one person, Eka, supplies the necessities of the Bahunam, of the many. We can't, with all our technology, we can put a satellite in the air and we can create a mobile phone, we can talk with people around the world with the click of a button. We can make computers and satellites and flat screen TVs and electric vehicles, but we can't create one drop of milk or one grain of rice. We are dependent. We should not forget this. So when we eat, when we breathe, when we drink water, we should remember Krishna. Rasoham apsukonteya pravasmi shashi suryo Pranavasavavedeshu Shabdake Paurusham Nushu. We should be conscious, continually conscious of Krishna. When we drink water, how does this water come to my mouth? If I don't drink water, I die. If I don't eat food, I die. How has it come to me? By the grace of Krishna, I maintain. Goptrite, Varanam. He's maintaining us. I'm like his pet. And he's very, very kind to devotees. So we should acknowledge that. Not just, Krishna's not our deity at home is not like a prasadam machine that we just give him something so I can eat. But we should have this mood that I want to feed Krishna something delicious, things that he loves to eat. Krishna loves sweet food. So we give Krishna nice, delicious, sweet food. Food prepared with bhakti, taking his property, his masala, his chawal, his sabji, his ghee. Take everything and make something delicious and offer to Krishna here. And this is competition between devotee and the Lord. Devotee wants to offer the Lord most delicious food. And Krishna feels completely satisfied to see his devotee taking prasadam. It's mentioned in Srimad Bhagvatam that the Lord is more satisfied by seeing foodstuff cooked in delicious in ghee, delicious foodstuffs cooked in ghee offered to the mouths of Vaishnavas and Brahmins than he is by Vedic sacrifice. He's so pleased to see devotees eat delicious food, and devotees very pleased to see him eat delicious food. So if we acknowledge this, even our eating, every day we have to eat, twice, thrice a day, we have to eat. So that eating becomes a meditation on Krishna, how he's maintaining me. He's feeding me. He's giving me air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat. He's maintaining this body. What to speak of my soul? Krishna is so kind. We should meditate on this. How kind is Krishna? Even the atheist, the murderer, the robber, the gunda, the dacoit, they're maintained, they're eating, they have their food, they have their place to live. How much more kind is Krishna towards his devotee? So we should remember. And when we're going about our daily activities, fix our mind on Krishna. And there are many nice examples of how Krishna is taking care of his devotees, like Govardhan Leela. As we remember, Lord Indra became insulted because he's a very proud guy. He's a very powerful man. This goes to his head. He's Sakama Bhakta. He has responsible service, but he's a very proud guy. And when he felt slighted by the Brajvasis, he sent some Sambartika cloud to destroy Braj. But Krishna is always protecting his devotees, he's providing for the devotees. They love Krishna and Krishna loves them. So Krishna simply lifted Govardhan Hill. Come on, come underneath. And the head is like a big festival, a big party underneath Govardhan Hill. For 1 week, Krishna is holding Giriraj Govardhan on the little finger of his left hand. Srila Prabhupada commented, chastising Indra is the business of Krishna's little finger. So Indra is thinking, I'm very proud, powerful man, Mahadev, powerful Devata. And Krishna chastised him, put him in his place with his little finger. And the devotees were having a big festival, seeing their eyes feasting on the beautiful form of Giridhari, holding up Govardhan. And many leelas took place also. Krishna is holding Giriraj on his finger, and the mountain began to shake a little bit. And Balaram began to laugh. He started laughing. Seeing the mountain shaking, he began to laugh. What is happening? Krishna is looking at the beautiful countenance of the gopis, and his mind is becoming disturbed, and the mountain is shaking. And when Balaram sees what's going on, he begins to laugh. The cowherd men, thinking, oh, Krishna's becoming tired, they took their stick. They wanted to help Krishna. They wanted to help, because they have no idea what is the power of Krishna, what is the power of God. Here's a little 7-year-old boy holding up a mountain. They think, oh, let us help him. Does he need help if he can lift the mountain? Does he need help? Does he become tired? Is he insufficient? Is he inadequate? But they're thinking in Leela, oh, let me help Krishna. Or Mother Yashoda, seeing Krishna, he looks tired. Oh, Kana, why don't you shift The mountain from your left hand to your right hand. Your left hand must be getting tired. They can't conceive out of love for Krishna. And Krishna is maintaining them. This is Govardhan Leela. He's protecting the Brajvasis who are like his beloved, his, not like, are his beloved friends. Forest fire, Davanala Leela. When there was a forest fire, did they go looking for the fire department? Did they look for buckets of water? They simply called out, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And Krishna simply inhaled, he ate the whole, Krishna can eat anything. He inhaled the whole forest fire to protect the cows and the gopas. So this is Krishna. He's maintaining the cows, he's maintaining the gopas, he's maintaining the whole world. Aristasura. Aristasura was a huge demon. His upper lip was touching the sky. His lower lip was touching the ground. It looked like a big cave. And the cowherd boys in Krishna are out playing, as they do every day. Prabhupada mentioned that the cowherd boys go to sleep at night thinking, when will I wake up? Let me finish this sleep business. When will I wake up and go play with Krishna? Come on, let's go cowherding. So they're out cowherding and they come across this big Aristasura, and his open mouth looked like a great cave. And the cowherd boys thought, oh, this is great fun. Let us go inside. And one of them said, well, this may be a big demon. It looks like a big demon. There's some bad smell coming out of his mouth. They said, no matter, no matter. Krishna will protect us. They're always completely maintained and protected by Krishna. There's a nice story about a mountaineer. He's climbing a mountain. They hammer steel pegs into the stone as an anchor. They rope themselves up. They can climb up the mountain one step at a time, roping themselves up. So the mountaineer was going up this mountain, then a huge snowstorm came. They call it whiteout. All you can see is snow. You don't know where you are, which direction is which direction is up. All you see is snow. And he fell. Fortunately, the rope that he had hammered into the side of the mountain protected him, and he's left hanging there on the end of this rope. And he's thinking, if I hang on this rope, I'll freeze to death. I have to get back to the camp and get inside my tent to protect myself from the freezing cold. So he's thinking, what to do? I can't climb up. I can't go down. What can I? He's praying to God, please. Oh Lord, please help me. So a voice comes, let go of the rope. But he had no faith. He didn't let go of the mount rope. They found him hanging, frozen solid at the end of the rope, 10 feet off the ground. Only 10 feet off the ground. All he had to do was to have faith in the instructions of the Lord to let go of the rope, and you're on solid ground. No faith. So we should have this faith that Krishna is maintaining Goptritve Varanam Tata. Krishna is always maintaining you. We should have this Shraddha, this unbreakable faith in Krishna. Next item is, the fifth item is Atma Nikshepa, full surrender. Surrender means remembering that one's activities and desires are not independent. We can never be independent of Krishna. We belong to Krishna. Devotees should think, I am Krishna's and Krishna is mine. I belong to Krishna. I'm Krishna's property. I'm part and this is the meaning, the purport of part and parcel. Krishna says in Gita, Mamaibam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manashastan indriyani prakritistani karshati. That we're angsha. Mama eva angsha. Mama eva angsho. Jiva loke. The jiva is part and parcel of Krishna, sanatana, eternally. Not like foolish, brain-dead Mayavadis who think that the soul can merge, leave his identity as individual soul and merge into the Supreme Soul and become one. Krishna completely contradicts this misconception in this verse in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. That Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, that you're an individual soul eternally. You don't lose your individuality. Arjun doesn't become Krishna, Krishna doesn't become Duryodhana, Duryodhana doesn't become Drona, Drona doesn't become Yuyutsu. They're individual souls. So Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Sanatana means eternal. You're eternally individual soul. You don't lose that identity. But they say that the Atma is like a pot. Inside the pot there is air. If you break that pot, then the air what's inside the pot merges with the totality of air. Or the river merges into the ocean and becomes the ocean. They're stupid examples. Because the soul is individual and eternal. Natveva ham jatu nasam natam neme janatipa nachaiva na bhavishama sarva vayama takparam. Krishna said, never there was a time when you did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of you cease to be. The body may change, but Arjuna is always Arjuna. The body, the external identity will change due to the change of body, but the soul never changes. He's always Arjuna. And we are also, we may have a Krishna, I'm Krishna Das. You may become Radha Dasi in your next life. You may become a demigod. You may become a Brahmana. You may become a worm, but your identity, your spiritual identity never changes as eternal part and parcel of Krishna, Jiva Buddha, Sanatana. So we should think, we should have this feeling towards Krishna. I belong to you. And Prabhupada mentions that we can understand many things about Krishna just by examining our own self, because Krishna is also a person. How do we get personality? Because Krishna is a person. How does something come from nothing? If God isn't a person, where do we get personality? Where do we get likes and dislikes? Why is there love? Why is there hate? Why is there war? All these characteristics are in the personality of Godhead. Krishna's on the battlefield fighting. So there's war also in human society. Krishna married 16,108 ladies, queens, princesses. They became his queens. So we also marry, we have relationship, man and woman. It exists in Krishna, therefore it exists in human society. If it didn't exist in Krishna, it can't exist in human society. We can't have something that Krishna doesn't have, something that's not present in Krishna can't be present in us. So Prabhupada mentions that we can understand many things about Krishna just by examining our own identity. So the last item is karpanye, humility. Humility is the symptom of a devotee in knowledge. He understands, I'm insignificant, I'm tiny. Keshagra shatabhaga shatada kalpitasya cha. Shastra describes the Atma as insignificant. You take the end of a hair, keshagra, the tip of a hair, divide that diameter by 100 parts. Take that 100th part of a diameter of a hair and divide that 100th part 100 times. 1/10,000th the size of a tip of a hair, or 2 angstroms. Insignificant. How tiny we are. But we think we are great. Ishwaroham aham bhogi siddhoham balavan sukhi. I am perfect, powerful, happy. No, you're insignificant. This is the truth. You're insignificant. You're controlled by the modes of material nature. Always, sometimes happy, sometimes sad, sometimes joyful, sometimes depressed. We're being tossed in the ocean. Michai Mayra Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Michai Mayra Boshe Jacha Beshe Kacha Habudububai. We're conditioned souls. Sometimes we're riding in the crest of happiness. Oh, life is good. Got money, respect, position, good family life, health, life is good. And the next moment, we're in the trough of despair. Oh, my business failed. There's some disturbance in my married life. My son became sick. My business is so many distresses also come to us. This is the duality. Icha dvesha sumutena dvandva mohena bharata. These are the dualities of life that we're subject to being washed by the modes of material nature. Sometimes happy, sometimes sad, sometimes healthy, sometimes diseased, sometimes rich, sometimes poor. We're being beaten by the dualities of material life. So how powerful are we actually? We're insignificant. We're being tossed by the modes of material nature. We're very, very small. So humility is the symptom of a person who has become self-realized. Example is given of a tree that bears good fruit, who's heavy with fruit. The branches bend down, not like a big tall tree with no fruit. And non-devotee, what is the opposite? Dambo, darpa, bimanascha, krodha, parusham, ayabacha, agyanam cha, vidasya, agyanam cha, vijatasya, uh, partha, anyway, I'm forgetting the verse. But damba, darpa, bimanascha, pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, all negative qualities. We should they exist in us also. That there's little Hiranyakashipu, little Ravana, a little Dantavakra in each and every one of us. So we curb that down and we offer respect to devotees. We bow down to devotees to break this nasty nature of being proud. What are we proud of? Prabhupada said, even a pauper is proud of his penny. So what are we proud of? That we've fallen into this most inauspicious thing has happened to us. We've fallen into this material world. And what is it to be proud of? Most inauspicious thing. I copied some beautiful quotes from Srila Prabhupada about pride. I'll read this to you. The Krishna consciousness movement is spreading all over the world. Just a moment here. The Krishna consciousness movement is spreading all over the world. And sometimes I think that even though I am crippled in many ways, if one of my disciples becomes as strong as Dhruva Maharaj, then he will be able to carry me with him to Vaikuntha Loka. So Prabhupada is saying that one of my disciples, I'm crippled, I'm useless, I'm fallen, but one of my disciples may take me back to Godhead. Such amazing humility. He said, from my personal point of view, I think that I am so sinful that I cannot even approach Krishna to show me any favor. But I have only one hope, my spiritual master. He is very kind. So some way or other, he is dragging me towards Krishna. That is the only hope. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita says, therefore, Guru Krishna, by the mercy of the spiritual master and by the mercy of Krishna, one gets into Krishna consciousness. Narada Muni is our original spiritual master, and he has dragged so many fallen souls towards Krishna. And we are also hoping to be dragged by him through the disciplic succession. Otherwise, if we study our own qualification, there is none. Rather, I have got so many disqualifications. Prabhupada wrote this in a letter on March 10th, 1969. Humility means that you are convinced beyond any doubt that there is nothing in this world, absolutely nothing in this world. Not your money, not your family, not your fame, not your gun, not your education. Nothing will save you except the mercy of Krishna. When you're convinced like this, then you are humble. But many wonderful quotes like this, where Prabhupada exhibits his humility. Also in one book, which is a collection, Shower of Compassion, a collection of all Srila Prabhupada's poetry. He describes himself like this, as we read. He says, I'm sinful, insignificant, fallen, confused. I mean, he uses these adjectives that are completely inapplicable to his character. But this is his humility. He actually feels like this. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, writes there that I'm lower than a worm in stool. Lower than a worm in stool. I'm more sinful than Jaga and Madhai. Anyone who speaks my name becomes bereft of all pious activities. All punya is destroyed just by saying my sinful name. Who is he? He's the eternal associate of the Lord, Nitya Parikar of the Lord in Goloka. But this is how he's feeling. Narottam Das Thakur, patita pavana hetu tava avatar mosam patita na paye ar. That your patita, he's praying to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that you're patita pavana, you're the savior of the fallen, but if you examine me, you will see that there is no other person more fallen than me, therefore my claim is first. This, I mean, if we examine the lives and statements of great acharyas, they all have this profound humility about them. So we should take lesson and deal with each other in a humble mood. Because why do devotees fight? Why do we argue with each other? Why do we become envious of other people? Why this negative influence enters into our sanghas? Because of pride. Why is he giving the class? I should give the class. Why he is leading the kirtan? I should lead the kirtan. I should be the temple president. I should be the guru. I should be God. This humility is such a wonderful thing. It makes us happy to be respectful of devotees, to be non-envious, to glorify devotees. Prabhupada said that glorifying devotees is more powerful, has a greater powerful effect than even glorifying Krishna. So when we take this humble position and appreciate devotees, glorify devotees, take humble position, then we become happy in Krishna Bhakti. We become happy when we see another devotee progressing. Because what is Bhagvatam for? Dharma projita kaita vatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam is for nirmatsara devotees. Matsarata means a person who cannot tolerate the progress, material or spiritual, of another person. Why they got a son? I don't have a son. How come they got position? I don't have a position. Why they have so much money? I don't have so much money. This is envy. Matsarata. You can't tolerate the progress, material or spiritual, of another soul. We should be happy. Devotee gets a son or daughter. We should be happy. When they get some windfall progress in their life, they start a business and make, we should be happy. We should be joyful for devotees. And that attitude will attract, people will line up at our door to join our sanghas. If this attitude of humility and respect and love for other devotees permeates our sanghas, people will line up the door because everyone is looking for a friend. But you can't be friendly with someone that you're envious of. You can't be friendly with someone who you think is lesser than you, and I'm greater and I will give you my mercy. I will give you my blessing. There's a nice story. I was just very, very fortunate to attend the Vyas Puja ceremony of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, which is, they call it Prabhupada Memorial Festival, 4-day festival, 3.5 days festival, glorifying Prabhupada, kirtan, katha, uh, discussion, and wonderful prasadam, 2,000 devotees, Prabhupada disciples, Prabhupada grand disciples, Prabhupada great grand disciples. Such a wonderful thing. Emotionally gratifying experience to see the success of Prabhupada's ISKCON. So in a sangha like this, we become happy. We become happy. So one devotee, one sannyasi, he's a sannyas disciple of Bhakti Charu Maharaj. He was telling a nice story. His name is Bhakti Prabhav Swami Maharaj. He's from Amsterdam, I think. So he was saying, I was begging mercy. Oh, Guru Maharaj, please give me your mercy. Please bless me. Bhakti Charu Maharaj said, no, I will not bless you. And he gestured to Srila Prabhupada's Murti. You ask Srila Prabhupada. He will bless you. Ask Prabhupada. He will bless you. This is humility. Profound humility. So we should have this mood of humility in our sanghas, and it's very, very attractive. And this is also attractive to Krishna, and this is the sixth item of surrender. To give up pride is to surrender to Krishna. So we can read this verse again. Just one moment. The 6 divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service, the rejection of unfavorable things, the conviction that Krishna will give protection, the acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master, full surrender, and humility. So if we want to surrender to Krishna, as Prahlad Maharaj is surrendering, taking full shelter of Krishna in every circumstance, these are the 6 items of surrender. Vanchakalpatubhishya kripasindhave vachapatitanam pavinebhyo vaishnavyo namo namaha. Anyone has any comment or question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Madhavat Pranam to you. Srila Prabhupada ki
Dandava Pranam Mataji, Vaishnavi Pranam.
Prabhuji, such a long time we heard you, and you were like, I joined a little bit late, but I mean, we really missed your classes, and today was such a nice hearing you. Please stay, give us your association because, yeah, Prabhuji.
The problem was this, Mataji, that I sign up for classes and then I end up having scheduling conflicts. Has happened many times. So I'm forgetting
Yes.
her name.
So
Anyway,
Prabhuji,
so if someone can't be there, they call me, and I end up giving class once or twice a month anyway. So it works out for me. It works out for devotees.
okay, yeah,
For
because
your scheduling.
you're not putting your name initially in the schedule, so I was feeling insecure. Why is Prabhuji not coming? But yeah, Mataji, you told Shamarasaka Mataji.
Yes, Shama Rasika Mataji.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
very helpful, very expert servant of devotees.
Yes, yes. Mataji
So
is.
she organizes everything. Does very nice service. So if someone can't come, if there's a scheduling conflict, she calls me, and usually I'm free. Somehow it all works out.
Yes, yes, yes. So Prabhuji, today you covered verse 7 or more?
7.
7. Okay.
787.
Yes. I was just thinking when I was quickly, I normally read quickly before the class, I'd like to read the translation and purport. But question was coming to me with respect to Prahlad Maharaj that we've never had anybody at least, I don't know, maybe there is some example of this, that how a child in the womb has taken the knowledge and when the child is out of the womb, normally what happens, we say, the way the family is, the child gets entrapped. But Prahlad Maharaj is like an exceptional story where he's such a small little boy speaking, especially the translation is so wonderful. This I heard so many times in different quotes, the translation of today, and it's amazing. Like, do we have any other person like Prahlad Maharaj who's went through the same thing in the mother's womb and heard from the spiritual master? It's very, very hard to believe that this actually happened, and how a spiritual master can actually transform the child in the womb, and especially having known that the parents are not like devotee, they just like, I mean, there was like one incident, right? We heard that uh, when Naraji said, no, the child will be, because everybody was believing that he's going to be a demon. A demon child will be a demon, like there's a saying, if there's a tree, and the children, like there's apple tree or something, the children will definitely be like the tree only once they grow up, and similar thinking. But here because of Krishna consciousness, how in many families also we see that everyone is not devotee, but if one person becomes a devotee, then he has a different way of going about. He's trying to give association, not take, and then he goes to temple, associate with devotees, even if around him there are not people who are devotees. So I mean, how in magical way, I don't know, it's very hard for me to still comprehend this, that the
Well, a
spiritual.
couple of things, Mataji. First
Yeah.
thing is that
Can you explain this aspect, Prabhuji? Yeah.
that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say the first move in a chess game is not the last move. So our children may be exhibiting materialistic characteristics, especially in their teenage years, but the whole rest of their life is in front of them. And if Americans and Chinese and Africans can become devotees, our children certainly can become devotees. It may take some of them a time to work through their material desires and come to appreciate the value of Krishna consciousness, because they grow up in a family and that's all they know is Krishna bhakti. Parents are devotees. They took me to the temple. They put this tilak on me. They put this neck bead on me, but I'm really not into it. But they're accumulating sukriti, and that will bear fruit in due course of time, no doubt. Second thing, when we talk about child in the womb, we should But this isn't the proper perspective. It's the soul. The soul is fully conscious. The soul is conscious in the womb. This is described in this canto, actually. No, 3-4 Bhagavatam. It's described how the condition of the soul within the womb of the mother. He hears everything. He experiences everything. And this is the value of when after 7 months, the soul within the womb is completely conscious of its environment. And he's praying to the Lord. He said, here I am again in the womb of a mother. Shankaracharya prayed, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Iha Sansari Bahudushtari Kripaya Pari Pahimari. That not another womb, not another mother, not another birth and death. Please protect me. So after 7 months, the child in the womb is conscious. How did I do this? Again, I'm in the womb of a mother. And he prays and he's conscious of whatever is going on around him. And this is the importance for pregnant ladies, especially in the last trimester of their pregnancy, to come to the temple, to chant nice japa, to read Bhagvatam, to hear transcendental sound vibration, to give that transformative spiritual sound vibration for their soul, not a child, the soul within the womb. The soul isn't a child, an old man, a young man, a man, a woman, tall, short, skinny, fat. He's Atma. And the Atma responds to spiritual sound vibration. And Prahlad Maharaj is a proof.
Yes, Prabhuji, like you completely transformed the question into from the seeing, like today in the morning, I'm not thinking like that. And still every day, that's why Prabhupada repeats about this soul business, I will say, because, we forget so many times in the morning, we're thinking we're the body, have to do this, we have to do that. But you straight away hit at the point where when you mentioned that he was a soul, not we should not consider as a body, because we have to think like we are all souls, and the body grows on the soul. So basically we are soul only. From that only the whole body grows. And of course it is so powerful that imbibed all the knowledge, even if it is inside. It was like really powerful. So what to speak of children who are already born? See, the mother is not didn't come to Krishna consciousness or didn't meet devotees when she was pregnant, but later on also. That's why Prabhupada ji said that, make your children Krishna conscious, So somehow the other, the message will go. And of course, there are cases also, Prabhuji, where however much parent might try, but the soul is such that, or the child will not take Krishna consciousness also. That also happens, right? It all depends on.
They have their karma. You can't change their karma.
Yeah.
It's like karma is like pieces of a puzzle. They fit together. That you are going to experience something as a mother, your son or daughter is going to experience something as your son or daughter. You share karma together. So we don't, you can't change karma. But like in the story of Kaliya was lamenting, I'm Kaliya, I'm the snake, I'm a demon. I can't change, this is what I am. So you please be merciful to me. Give me your mercy. This is what I am.
Yes.
So same thing, we have our nature, and our nature doesn't drastically change. Basically, our nature remains the same throughout our life. We purify our nature by engaging it in Lord's service, but we don't become a brand new person, another soul. And we should have that consciousness ourselves. Prabhupada said that someone who thinks, I am pure spirit, is in my body. But someone who acts like pure spirit, someone who thinks, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Okay, he tends towards Mayavad. But someone who acts on the platform of Brahman by serving the Lord, he is a pure devotee. So we should reflect on that also throughout the day. What am I? Who am I? We have such strong bodily identification due to millions of births in the material world doing the same stupid thing over and over and over. That's a very strong tendency for material. Prabhupada gave a nice example. He said that a man can never forget his mother. He can forget his father, but he can never forget his mother. Because what is our body? Our body is a product of our mother's body. It's the same as our mother's body. So in the same way, we're born into this material world. This material nature, we've accepted this material nature. We're covered by material nature. We identify with it. We're part of it. We're born from it, so we identify with it. The same way as a body is born from our mother's body, we identify with our mother. So we have to break that. And that is the process of Krishna consciousness that begins with this hearing process. Ataksha Krishna Namadi. Namadi. Nagrayam, but that by hearing, beginning with hearing. Ataksha Krishna Namadi. Nabhavek Grayam in Sevan Mukhi Hijeva Doswayameva Spuratera. We get spurti, we get revelation from Nama. Namado, beginning with Nama, from chanting japa, hearing Krishna's name, hearing Bhagvatam. This breaks our identification, it purifies our consciousness. Prabhishtakana Randane Swanam Bhava Saroruham Dunoti Shamalam Krishna Salilasya Yatasharat. Just as autumn rains cleanse all muddy waters, our muddy consciousness, which is characterized by our attachment to material life, by identification with our material body, that is shattered, that is cleansed by hearing, only by hearing. Hearing holy name attentively when we chant japa, not just making some noise with our mouth, but hearing Krishna, Rama, Hare, and remembering Radha Krishna. This is the process to break our attachment to this materialistic misidentification with our body that has haunted us for millions of lifetimes. Not an easy thing, but the holy name is very, very powerful, and there's all hope for us if we take to the process, if we accept the prescription of the transcendental doctor, Shri Guru. Then there's hope that we can become liberated from the material conception of life, awaken our love of God, and at the end of life, go back to Godhead. Permanent solution to the main problem of material life. All the problems of material life.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dhanava Pranam, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu. After a long time again, we got a chance to hear from your Lotus Model, Mataji was saying. I was so fortunate. So, yes, you are saying these interactions with the demon here, Prahlad Maharaj is accosting his demonic father. And same way, we also accost so many demonic people in our everyday life. Like the shelter of the Shastra, shelter of the verses, shelter of the name, shelter of the Namru Gunalila meditation, and shelter of the devotee's mercy. These are the only things that we have to go across the ocean of Maya. an anecdote. Yesterday, I was just going through YouTube. Mostly this the katha thing, but in between there was somehow there was some video came where the person is showing his opulent house. I don't know how. So I was like, generally I would not get such kind of recommendation from the YouTube, but I was seeing. Then I was a little bit baffled. Like, this person is so. Then the scripture helped me to like Ishwaraham Aham Bhogi Siddhaham Balavan Sukhi. Exactly those verses were as if I could find those the meaning, the import of those verses in that man who was showing Ishwaraham Aham Bhogi. It's as if he is the proprietor, he is the controller, he is the enjoyer. Then I realized, yes, this man perfectly fits into Krishna's definition of demon. So yes, because so much important. Because we are always buffeted by the winds of Maya in so many ways. Even you are right. Even within our sanghas, also there is so much of ego things going on. And shelter of the Guru Sadhu Shastra, it takes a lot of times. It takes a backseat.
We have to practice what we preach, Prabhu.
Yes,
we preach humility. We preach compassion. We preach curbing ego. But do we practice when it comes time to practice? When there's some big disagreement in our sanghas, do we practice? said, okay, Prabhuji, we disagree. It's okay. No one has to follow my way. We can do it your way. Let us try your way. Please accept my obeisances.
Yeah, so books are the basic. So, I mean, why even if the disagreement comes, so I mean, we should try to resolve it through the books, through the Sadhu Shastra.
Not so easy sometimes, Prabhu. Even commentators on Bhagvatam sometimes disagree. Prabhupada did things differently than Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So sometimes there are circumstances where it requires great spiritual depth of understanding to be able to harmonize the different points of view.
Yeah, yes. Yes, the situation, Stankal Patra. So even Prabhupada also sometimes people comment out of context. So it's to be understood that Prabhupada's instructions are supreme in the purports situations in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, whereas in the letters or the lectures, those may be influenced by the Stankal Patra influences. So somebody is quoting those things, then one has to take if somebody has a quote from the purports, then that of course takes precedence. Because
we should learn to have Vada discussion. Vada discussion. Srila Jiva Goswami talks about Vada, Jalpa, and Vitanda. Vada discussion means we disagree, but we want to understand the truth harmoniously. I'm not trying to defeat you. You're not trying to defeat me. We're examining these statements of Shastra to harmoniously understand what is true. This is Vada discussion. Jalpa means I'm not even listening to you really. I'm just listening to find the defect in your argument because I want to defeat you. And Vitanda means just tamasic name-calling and insulting type discussion. So we should strive for a Vada type discussion where we respectfully discuss Krishna. And this is our happiness. Tushanti cha ramanti cha. We become happy in such discussions, not disturbed in mind. Oh, he insulted me on Facebook. He insulted me and this. And you're madly typing on your keyboard, trying to defeat him and name calling and blasphemy. Insulting gurus and Vaishnavas, what benefit, what just disturbance to your mind? So even in the spiritual world, they disagree. What to speak of here? This is the age of quarrel. In the spiritual world, the gopis are so sad when Krishna leaves with the gopas to go cow herding. And when he comes back, they're on the rooftops waiting. Oh, there's a cloud of dust. That's a cloud. That must be Krishna Balaram coming back with the cows. They can hardly wait. Mother Yashoda and the gopis are so sad when Krishna leaves Braj to go out cow herding. And the cowherd boys can hardly wait to get Krishna. Come on, hurry up, let's go. Finish breakfast, let's go. So they have different feeling towards Krishna. So there's disagreement, but Krishna is the center, so everybody's blissful. We disagree in the material world, and we become angry, we become envious, we become spiteful, critical. All negative qualities come out because Krishna is not the center. We should learn to have Vada discussion. Respectful, philosophical pursuit of truth.
And then you rightly pointed out the Mayavadi aspects. A lot of times, I mean, I don't know whether because of the understanding of the penchant or the drive to understand the philosophy, maybe falling short, and because of which sometimes the Mayavadi aspect is not highlighted in many of the Prabhupada would be most happy if he is glorified with the Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, because his life has been to decimate this Nirvishesha Shunyavadi as a founder Acharya, because founder Acharya has to decimate all other opposing views. So many times, it is correct. I mean, I am even in our classes. I mean, strong opposition to the Mayavadi and rather Mayavadi especially, Brahmadi partially, but Mayavadi of course. the Mahaprabhu himself was again Mayavadi. So yeah, only in your classes we are seeing that Prabhupada's spirit continued with onslaught on Mayavad. Yeah, so it's very getting increasingly rare, but the Prabhupada would be most lovingly served if we still continue that. Yeah.
Sometimes people say, we say Nirvishesha Shanivari Paschatya Desha Tarane. Paschatya Desh means the Western world. Some people say we should say Sarvaloka Vitarane. That is liberating the whole universe, the whole worlds, all the worlds from Nirvishesha and Shanyavadi, Buddhism and Mayavad, Advaitavad and Buddhism. Buddhism means shunyata, everything is void. Nirvishesha means this Advaitavad, the God has no form. So it's very predominant all over the world, not just in the West.
I am seeing still West was served with Christianity, which was subset, but still it was good. But that Mayavad in India actually decimated the lot of the personal qualities like this, humility, tolerance, and a lot of negative qualities came in. I mean, though their religious past to say dharma, artha, kama, moksha, but Indians, person of Indian persons of Indian origin was done these Mayavadas done a great damage. That's why even those Mayavadis went to the West, they didn't get much of mileage because the devout pious Christians, they didn't take to their views. That's why
antithesis, because if we give a generous definition to Vaishnavism, then Christians are also Vaishnavas.
Yes,
they believe in a personality of God, His representative, and their goal is to go back to heaven and serve God in heaven.
Yeah.
So, from a generous point of view, we can say they're also Vaishnavas.
Yes.
Which are distinct from Mayavad, where they want to give up, leave identity, and merge and become one with God.
Exactly.
Christ never talked about that,
Yeah. Their understanding maybe smaller, but at least they are saved from the demon of Mayavad.
Yeah, they have no correct tattva because they don't understand the nature of the soul. But there's repeated birth and death. They have no specific information about the personality of Godhead, what He looks like, where He lives, what He does, what He wears, what He eats, who are His friends. They have no specific. He's just up there somewhere. Uparwala. He's up there somewhere. You go to church. Jesus is representative. Be good. Follow. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. These are all things are good. But they don't. How can you love someone you have no information about?
Yeah.
We're interested in prema, love of God, the personality of Godhead, who is replete with all six opulences. We can develop love for God because we have such a vast body of Vaishnava literature to study and acquaint ourselves with.
Yeah. Correct, bro. Yes, your association is so much value, so much purifying. Please grace us with your association and nectarian words.
It's my good fortune to be able to speak with you, to have opportunity to study Bhagvatam together.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Yes, I agree.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, I agree with Bharata Prabhu, and you just now said it is it is very wonderful, and always nectarian classes from you. So we feel very happy, and as you said just now, and we are fortunate to have your association. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you for your kind words, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, ho gaya? All done?
If anybody has any last minute questions or comments, otherwise we can end the call with a prayer.
Okay, thank you all. Vancha kalpata bisha kripa sindhu deva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnava. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur.
Sarvadrik Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandvat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful class.
Hare Krishna.